Um, we are going to be doing a mindset Zoom here with Coach Sean. He's going to lead it. I'll just kind of add in when it's appropriate. We want all you guys to stay quiet during this unless we call on you, and we can unmute you. I'll kind of stay in there, unmute you. But it's better if everybody stays on mute, okay? Because there's background noise behind you, stuff like that everybody can kind of hear if you're off mute. Looks like we got about 50 guys on here. So we got 40, but we got a lot of brothers. So probably around 50 of you on here. So if everybody starts talking at the same time, it's not going to work, right? So before I get Coach Sean started, guys, the governor just extended that 2-week period. So we are for sure not allowed to practice till May 1st right now. Okay. So as much as that stinks, that is just the way of the world as we see it right now. So I hate it as much as anybody ever. Okay. Having said that, we will get a schedule going as far as moves. We'll do a Wednesday workout, Friday mindset. We'll get another round of moves on the YouTube, keep you guys working. We're going to give you something every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. I think that's a good plan. I'll have Coach Matt do another workout. I thought that went really good on Wednesday. We'll try to keep you active. We'll give you challenges every Tuesday, Thursday when we're not doing something, maybe one on the weekend too. So we will keep you guys doing stuff. All right. We want you guys working with us, staying active, staying ready, because we don't want to get too far out of shape, because the minute we can get back in that wrestling room, we're going to be back in it. But we're going to keep as much of a wrestling program as we can without being able to get on an actual mat. Okay. So we will, we'll have challenges 3 days a week. We'll kind of do it by schedule. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday we'll probably show some stuff. I don't know what we'll do on Mondays. Not just a hangout. We'll try to give you something, hang out, but give you something to do. Tuesdays and Thursdays and maybe Saturdays we'll have challenges. Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday we'll have Zooms. So we'll keep you active every day, Monday through Saturday. We'll give you Sundays off. Deal? Maybe Sunday we'll just do a hangout where we can be cool, chat it up. All right. But we want to keep you guys doing stuff, keep you guys active. Obviously it's not ideal, guys. I hate it as much as you guys. We want to be wrestling. We want to see you guys. To be honest with you, Coach and I were talking the other day. This is the highlight of our day, guys. This is Coach is at home all with his wife, but other than that, him and his dog. I just have my dog right now. My boys are with their mom, so this is the only time I get to have any fun during the day. So we will we'll keep doing this stuff and keep you guys active. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Sean. Again, I want everybody staying on mute unless we unmute you, okay? Because we don't want to hear the background noise. We don't want all that stuff. Stay on mute unless Coach calls on you, and then we'll move forward going from there. And make sure you have a pen and paper. If you didn't get a pen and paper out, get a pen and paper, because we're going to do a list again, kind of like we did the other day. All right? So everybody kind of nod your head. We can see all of you. I can see all of you. Everybody following along. Keep listening. Learn something here, okay? And don't take this stuff seriously. Mindset's an important part of wrestling. So it's not a practice. We're not going to get up and do a workout, but you can at least learn something through mindset right here today. Coach, go ahead.
What's up, guys? Look, I know this isn't nearly as exciting as doing a workout or just hanging out. I'm sorry, forgive my dog. She's the neighbor's Mo. But we can still definitely learn something here, right? We can find ways to get better, whether that be your footwork, this, that, or the other, especially our mindset. Oh, come on, you're killing me, this dog.
Go, Coach.
Beautiful.
Okay. Is that yours, Coach, or somebody off?
Beautiful. Especially our mindset, right? This is something that honestly, yeah, my dog, yeah, she's crazy. Hang on, let me yell at the wife 1 second. Honey, she's coming. We're good. So especially our mindset, right? And here's what I mean by that. I was a pretty good wrestler in high school, got to college, and I really struggled mentally. My internet is not working now. Okay. You there, Coach? Can you hear me, Coach?
We can hear you, Coach. Keep going.
Okay. So especially mentally, everything that's going on right now, if we can learn at your age, if you guys can learn to kind of conquer this and learn how to think or how to process certain emotions, it's really going to play in our favor. So what we're going to talk about today is fear. Um, the definition of fear is simply a distressing emotion that's caused by danger. So what I want to start with is take a pen and paper, and I want you to write down, let's go 5 things that you fear, all right, or that may cause you to be fearful. And then we're going to come back and we're going to see what you guys write down. So go ahead, write down a little bit about what you might fear. 5 things. Oh.
Guys, this can be wrestling related. This can be life related. Stuff that you fear before you step out on the mat. Stuff that you fear just in every day. Maybe you have a fear of spiders. Coach Ryan's is fear of heights. I don't like being up high.
I don't snakes. So funny story. I don't like snakes, but I actually got a snake in college to try to get over my fear of snakes. And it worked when the snake was little. And then it got a little bit bigger, and we got rid of that snake. So couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. All right. So I'm going to have Coach Ryan go ahead and call on a couple of you and just tell me what we came up with.
Ryder, give me something you're afraid of. Give me one of the things on your list.
Breaking bones.
Breaking bones. That's a fear of yours, Ryder?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fair enough. Hayden Cochran, give me one.
Being taken away from my family.
Fair. That's fair. All right. Kendall Moe, give me one. Kendall, you might have to unmute yourself. It's not letting me unmute you.
Fear of losing everyone that I know and love.
Yeah, that's a serious fear.
Okay.
All right. Carver, give me one of your fears.
Spiders.
Spiders. Right on. That's fair. A lot of people have that. Noah Mills, give me one. Something you're afraid of, Noah.
Falling off a cliff or something.
Falling. All right. That's fair. Anybody raise your hand if you wrote down a wrestling fear, something about wrestling that you fear, like as far as losing. Let me get Jake Hockaday, give me one. Saw your hand.
Like if you're in a big match, just like stepping out on the mat.
Yeah. That
know,
fear right before you get out there.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Carter Stanford, give me yours.
Definitely losses.
Yeah, you're afraid of losing. That's a big fear in wrestling, right? Raise your hand if you've ever been afraid of losing in a wrestling match. Like you got, like that thought went through your head. Like you're in the middle of a match and you think, man, I'm afraid to lose this match. Yeah, that's what we're trying to talk to you about here today. All right, let's let Coach keep going.
So, hey, first of all, it's normal to have fears, right? And so, a lot of good fears that we mentioned. Let's talk about how do we deal with that. Does anyone have an idea on how they can help manage fear? Or even, let's say, nerves. How could you manage being nervous? And raise your hand. I can't see anybody, Coach.
I can. Raise your hand again. Let's see. Who's got a good one for me? All right, Sean Nolan, give me one.
Froze.
Just do some deep breathing.
Deep breathing. I like that one. Who else has got one? AZ, give me one.
I couldn't really hear what he said. That's why I was.
Okay, Coach, can you repeat that?
Which part, Coach?
What'd you ask him? A fear? I'm sorry. You asked them to give you a fear, and then what was after that?
How would we manage? How would you deal? How do you currently manage or deal with that fear or nerves in general?
Anthony, give me an answer to that. How do you manage your fear when you get that fear?
I would just like just breathe, I guess.
Yeah, take some deep breaths. Malachi, give me your answer.
Just try to stay the
Malachi, you're breaking up a little bit. Try it one more time. Try to stay what?
Just try to stay calm and do your best.
Try to stay
Okay.
calm, do your best. That's awesome. All right, coach, go ahead.
So what I like to think of, and this really helped me, is focus on what I can control and what I can't control. Okay. Talking about fear or nerve, can I really control can I control my thoughts? Okay. Can I control my thoughts going into that match? So Jake mentioned being nervous for a big match. Okay. So one, if we keep in mind, so let's focus on what could we control. So if I'm nervous going into a big match, I'm just going to talk about a couple things that I would do. All right. If I'm nervous going into a big match, then ultimately I like to tell myself a couple different things to keep my mind on the right track. Like one, we talked about gratitude. So I'm grateful to be in a position to match, right? Two, I've done a lot of work to get to that point. And three, I really try to just focus on my breathing and staying under control and knowing that I've done all these things that led to me getting to this point. So what can you control and what is out of your control when it comes to wrestling or having a match or a big match? And I can't hear anything.
Coach, you're kind of breaking up. So what coach is talking about here is what are things you can control in your matches, things that you can control. Let's start with like right before the match starts, things that you can control before you go out on the mat. I'm going to have coach log off and log back on. But I'll keep going.
It's
here.
working now. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So what coach is talking about, what are some things that you can control? And I want you to write these down. Some things pre-match, before the match starts, when you're in that warm-up period or you're in that phase right before the tournament starts or before your big match. Let's say you're going in the state finals. What are some things you can control leading up to that match that are within your control? Okay. Let me go on to some things that are not in your control. Wait time. A lot of times, especially in the state finals. Let's go, Revan, unmute yourself. You've wrestled in the state finals match, ISWA, a lot of times. Do you ever know when that match is going to happen? Like you have some idea, but it could be 5 minutes or 4 hours, right?
Like last time I had ISWA one time, I waited like 2 hours to wrestle.
Right. So you can't. So that's something. I'm gonna mute you again, Rev. That you can't control. You can't control wait time. You can't control your nerves. Are going to happen, guys. But what are some things? I want you to write down. Let's say 3 or 4 things that pre-match you can control. That you have. I have control over these things before I go into the match. I'll give you an example. I had a routine, and I think routine is hugely important before your match. The way you warm up, the way you get into a match, the music you listen to, how is your routine the same? What you eat before a match, what you do before a match. So that was always big for me. That was how I kind of stayed calm. Was I had a routine. I listened to the same music. I had the same warm-up routine. I ate the same things on meet days. So those are kind of the things that you can control. Get some ideas. Try not to use just mine. Try to come up with something else that you control when you're in a pre-match setting, I guess. And if you got a good one, raise your hand. Give me something you can control. Ty Sanford, give me something you can control before your match. I'm sorry, Carter Sanford. You had your hand up. My bad.
I'd say body parts, because whenever you're like moving around, like I know some people get stiff when they're really nervous, but if you just keep loosening up and moving around, then you won't.
That's a great answer. How you
Really good.
Ty Freepan, did you have one? Okay, I'm unmuting you, Ty. Go ahead. Or can you unmute yourself, Ty? Do you know how to do that? There you go. Go ahead and give me one.
Your body expressions.
Yes, that's a good one. So let me talk on that. That was a really good answer, Ty. So we talk about fix your face all the time. Let's talk about that. And if you're walking around and nerves are on your face, right? If you look nervous, your opponent's going to see that, right? He is going to read right through you as he watches you warm up. If you look like you're going to puke over there in the corner, he's going to see that, right? So you can control your body language. We talk about how important body language is all the time. Fix your face is developed out of body language, right? So fix your face is something that, you know, that body language before a match. Ty, that was a great answer. Let's get one more.
Can I add something onto that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
Guys, that's body language is very important. Also, we can't get too high or too low. All right. I know some of you especially have that you walk around, you get real hype, right? You're all excited and you're ready to go. That's good to be ready to go, but we want to be even keel. All right. Be level there in that process. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, so that was a good answer. I'm gonna take one more. Looks like Vaughn's got one. Give me one, Vaughn.
If you're like using a lot of your energy, you're probably going to like not have that much energy like for your match.
Yep. That's kind of piggybacking off what Coach just said. If you're too high and you're all amped up and you're ready for that match, right? And you're ready for that match, like Revan said, you might be ready for that match 2 hours in advance, okay? And you're ready for that match and you're just, and then you get out there, you have what's called an adrenaline dump. Boom. All of a sudden you're tired, man. You're tired because all that adrenaline hits right when you get out there. So controlling your body movement, I like that from Carter, controlling your body language from Ty, and just controlling your nerves and your energy level from Vaughn. I think those are all really, really good answers.
Now, here's something as well that I heard this a couple days ago and I really liked it. Like Coach was just talking about preparing for a match, right? Like maybe you've been looking forward to that match all year long or maybe all day. What about those big matches you've been looking forward to for, like, let's say all year? Maybe it's the state tournament, right? And now, it's a big match. I heard someone say the other day that every match is important, but no match is special, okay? So every match that you wrestle is important. We should give it value and compete our hardest and really focus on our effort, right? But we shouldn't make it special, all right? Put it in a place where it's special, up on a pedestal, if you will, and then therefore that's going to lead to a little bit, probably us being a little bit more nervous than normal. What about things that are out of your control? What are some things that you can't control?
Pre-match.
Go ahead,
Give me one. Give me something you can't control before a match, Dron. Do what? I'm sorry.
Strength and speed.
Dron, you're kind of breaking up. Talk into your speaker a little more.
Strength and speed.
Yeah, you can't control your opponent, how fast and strong he is. Give me somebody else. Give me a hand up. Something you can't control. Come on, I'm getting the same people. Somebody else give me an answer. Brady Miller, something you can't control.
Kind of like you said, how your opponent wrestles.
Yeah, you can't control your matchup, right? You might have a guy you've never seen before, who it is, what it is. Trayvon, give me one. Quit sitting there on your hands. Give me something you can't control. Think about it, Trayvon. I'll come back to you. Gunner, be smart. Give me something you can't control before a match.
Oh gosh. Probably how good they are and like how they wrestle.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can't control
well-
your bracket, right? You can't
Yeah.
control who's there. I got one more I'm going to give you.
The ref.
Yeah, the ref. That's a big one for Coach and I. Like, we can go out on the mat, like, and as a coach, for our sake, in your matches, the ref matters, okay? We tell you guys, you know, don't let the ref control the match, all those things. But for us, we don't like to go out on the mat and see certain refs. We're like, oh, geez, hopefully we pin this kid because we don't want this ref involved in this match. So can't control refs. You can't control your bracket. Maybe you did. Maybe you drew the returning state champ first round, right? You can't control that. But you can control the outcome of the match. So let's let Coach keep going.
Well, so let's talk about so again, anytime we're dealing with fear and nerves, I want you guys to focus on what you can control and what you can't control. But what you can't control in this situation, let's say it's the ref. Let's talk about a bad call. All right, maybe it's a close match. There's 30 seconds left. We take a kid down to what we think is a takedown, right? And the ref says, out of bounds. Okay. Now, walking back to the middle, what are you doing? Okay? How are you reacting to that call. Now you have the option, right? You can control this. You can control how you react. So are you upset, bothered by the call, not focused, or are you really thinking, hey, that's okay. I got in on that takedown. I can go get another one, right? I have 30 seconds. I might have 20 seconds, what have you. I can go score here, right? So we're focused on what we can control and we can't control. And yeah, it's a big deal for Coach and I on the ref, because you would be amazed at how many of you on this call today are really competing. You're having a great match, all right? And then the next thing you know, you get a bad call and you're out of it, right? Coach, have you ever seen that before?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna call out somebody kind of specific on that, and he's gotten much better about it. Where's Nate Rio? I saw him on there. Raise your hand, Nate, so I can find you faster. Nate, one time, Coach, and I'm gonna call you out. You were about 7, okay? This wasn't recent. He was younger. He was probably a bantam, maybe an intermediate. And Nate's up 14 points, I think, and there was an out of bounds takedown that he didn't get to win the match. Now, mind you, he's up 14 points. He could have won the match in the next 10 seconds. Nate, you lost your mind, didn't you? You remember this? We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell him. I lost my mind. I started freaking out, throwing my hands up in the air. Guys, let me tell you something that happened during that. And I tried to explain this. And Nate was young, and you got to learn from these things, right? But one of the things that happens when you throw your hands up like this and you just get all huffy and you roll your eyes going back to the center, right? Who's done that? Raise your hand. Be honest. Been pissed or mad and just thrown your hands up and been like, ah, crazy. All right? So you walk back to the center, okay? And what did the ref just see? He's like, this little snot-nosed kid just questioned my call with his hands, and he put his hands in the air, and he didn't like what I called. Do you think that ref really likes that? It's called showing him up, right? So that's our job, right? We'll get on the ref. But one of the things you can control, and that's something going back to what Ty said about body language. If you get a bad call or you get something like that, or, talking about what Coach was talking about, that's something you cannot control. But what you can control is your reaction to it, okay? And if you're having a bad reaction, that ref is going to remember that reaction. And it may not matter. It didn't matter for Nate in that match, right? He was up 14 points. But it might matter if he has that ref again, okay? Whether that ref would admit it or not, those things stick in their mind. So we got to be able to control our body language when we get a bad call. It's out of our control, but our reaction is in our control. Does everybody understand that? Okay, Coach.
And so, guys, the last thing I kind of want to end with here is, again, just like Coach said, to summarize it up, I want you to focus on what you can control and just realize there are certain things that you can't control, all right? So we need to keep our focus on what we can control. So I personally have 3 things that I do when I get nervous, or that I tell myself when I get nervous to help me focus on the things that I can control, or the things that I like to remind myself of, okay? Like, here's an example. When I first came to Contenders and started coaching all you youngsters, I have a lot of experience coaching, but I don't have a lot of experience coaching younger kids. And because of that, I was fearful. All right. Sorry. I was fearful. I was nervous. And so I came up with 3 things that I like to do. And those things are, I tell myself first and foremost that God has a plan and I have to trust it. Now, whether or not you have faith or what have you, that's not my business. But the first thing I always tell myself, God has a plan. I have to trust it. All right. And then I also tell myself, I have value. All right. I bring value to this, to Contenders, and I need to know that. And then if I'm still nervous, I just try to repeat to myself stuff that I'm grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to talk to you guys, to get to coach you. And I do this over and over and over again until I get to a point where I'm not really focused on those. So my reset button is saying those 3 phrases, all right? And I want to leave today with the challenge of, I want you to come up with your own 3 things, 2 or 3 things that you can use as a reset button. So when you get nervous, how are you talking to yourself? Okay, what are you saying to yourself in those moments? It's to acknowledge, hey, I'm nervous, right? How are you talking to yourself in that moment? Because how you're talking to yourself can make all the difference in the world, right? Are you telling yourself that oh man, this guy's really good and he's just gonna whip on me, right? I don't have a chance. Are you in practice saying, I'm really tired right now and this is horrible? You know, or are you saying, hey, this is why I'm stronger than my opponent because I did all this in practice. I went to Monday Night Live or I went to Friday Night Live. Okay. Are you going into practice and challenging yourself saying, hey, I might not get this takedown today, but I'm going to compete as hard as I can for 6 minutes? How are you talking to yourself? So my reset button, I use those 3 phrases. I want you to come up with 3 phrases that you can use to help reset your mind or your train of thought. Coach, go ahead.
So, kind of piggybacking off that, Coach was talking about his fear, his fear of when he joined Contenders and learning to coach kids. And that's something that I don't have that fear anymore because I've been doing this a long time. Okay. So I just, when Coach and I talk about it, I'm like, you're a great coach. You're going to figure this out. And he had to use those things to reset him. One of my big fears, guys, is failure. I had that fear. Raise your hand if you've ever feared failure, feared not winning, feared messing up, feared going to talk to your dad after a match because you just lost, right? That is, being blunt honest, that is one of my biggest fears in the world, okay? So when Coach talks about a reset, when I start to fear that failure creeping in, and I do it, guys, I say, man, did I prepare these guys right? Are we doing the right things at practice, okay? Are there enough kids here to stay open? Like that stuff worries me. How's this going to work right now with all this stuff going on in the world with business, right? That stuff is a fear of mine. But when I start to fear things, what I do to reset is I tell myself a quote, okay? And this is Sean McVay. He's the coach of the Rams. Some of you may know who he is. He has this quote, and I don't know if it's his, but that's who I saw it attributed to. And his quote was, I don't fear failure, I attack success. So that's what I tell myself. Stop fearing failure, Ryan. Stop fearing not being able to do this. Stop fearing all these things in coaching that you worry about, and learn to attack success. Don't be afraid to take a chance. Don't be afraid to believe in yourself. And I think that's something that helps me reset. Coach, 3 good ones. That's just the one that I wanted to give you. Coach Q, I saw you jump on here. I'm going to utilize you real quick. Can you unmute yourself because I can't find you?
What up?
Coach Q wrestles at Marion. Coach, what do you tell yourself before a match? What college match?
So one, we always talked about at school that it's good to be nervous before a match because that means you care. And then another thing that always helps me is right before my match, every single time, I just look at my coaches in my corner and just know, like, I got 2 people there that are going to back me up no matter what. So it's like I got an army behind me. No matter what happens, I go out there and wrestle as hard as I can. I got an army behind me.
Right. I love that because, and I hope you guys look at all of us, Coach Q, Coach Sean, Coach Matt, myself, when we're in the corner. You got good coaches behind you. You've been prepared well. I think that one of the best things that when I was actually wrestling, I was talking a little more life, but fear for me when I was wrestling, it was just trusting in my work, right? Believing in the process that you worked really hard and you're ready for this. And I think if you can believe in that work, it kind of eases that fear. Like, Revan knows I've been here before. Nate, those guys know. You guys should know. Trayvon, man, you've been here before, right? So you can't get nervous in the sense that you just have to relax and say, man, I've been here before. I've wrestled these matches. My coaches are in my corner, and I got that army Coach Q was talking about behind me, okay? And I think if you can start to, like Coach said, self-talk yourself that way. Not, oh, my gosh, this guy's ranked 3rd. This guy beat me last time. Oh, man, I got to wrestle so-and-so, and he's from
His
Red
track profile says this or that.
He's got 18 stars on track. Track profiles are a joke, by the way. Okay? So just when you can start self-talking like, I put in the work. I've got good coaches. I've got good practice partners. I'm ready for this kid. You're going to find that you get a lot less nervous for matches. And that's hard sometimes, guys. It is. That's, I think, something you can start to work on for yourself. Coach, we got about 4 minutes left if you got anything you want to.
No, Coach, that's it. I just really want you guys to again, focus on what you can control and what you can't control. And then I want you to try to come up with your own reset button. All right. What does your reset button look like? What can you tell yourself that's going to make a difference for you when you start getting nervous? Acknowledge that you're nervous and then work on moving past it. Okay. So let's try to come up with our reset button. And if you can, write them down and have mom or dad share it. Okay, tag Ryan or I, and let's see how that goes. But I'd like to see what you guys think you could tell yourself, all right, in those moments where you're nervous or fearful. And let's see if we can start making a difference with our mindset.
Does everybody kind of follow that? So we want 3 things listed out today. That's your homework, whatever, for today. List out 3 things that you can tell yourself before a match, during a match, to help you reset when you're getting nervous, you're getting anxious about something. Because guys, over the next couple of weeks, you got e-learning, you got things going on that are unnatural. You're going to feel a little anxiety, okay? You're going to feel a little nervous about things, whether you know it or not. So just 3 things that you can control or tell yourself when that fear or that doubt or that nerves creep in a wrestling match or in just life. What can you tell yourself? On top of that, your assignment for tomorrow, your Saturday workout, right? We've been doing these challenges. Your Saturday challenge. Everybody knows how to do stance motion, correct? Raise your hand if you know what stance motion is, where you're moving around, sprawling, down blocking. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Coach came up with this. What was it, Coach? 1 minute stance motion every hour? Or was it, what'd you tell me?
So 60 sets of stance motion for 1 minute. So 1 minute stance motion, that's 1 rep. You have 60 of them.
Anybody know how long that means you have to do stance motion for? Oh, total? Who can do that? 60 by 1 minute. Mikhail, give me that good math, Mikhail. Unmute yourself.
An hour.
Yep.
An hour.
All together, you have 1 hour of stance motion. Now you're going to break it up.
24 hours in a day, 1 hour a day.
Okay, you have all day Saturday. You can break it up 1 minute at a time. You can do 1 minute every half hour. You can do 1 minute every 10 minutes. I don't care. But I want good stance motion for 1 hour tomorrow, but you're breaking it up in 1 minute increments. So you got 3 resets you got to get me today. Okay? 3 resets on, tag us in something. Some people are having trouble tagging contenders. I don't know why, guys. I've tried to fix it. If you can't tag contenders, tag me on Instagram, tag Coach Sean on Facebook, just so we can see it. We like seeing that stuff, and it helps people know that we're still working. 60,
and also, guys, go ahead, Coach.
61 minute stance motions. Okay, Coach, go ahead.
So this is a great time for you to do these things and say, I'm doing so. This is how we build mental toughness, right? You're doing stuff that most kids your age aren't doing, okay? So use that to build confidence and conquer some of those nerves, all right? Thanks for coming, guys. Have a great day.
I write down stuff every day. This is stuff, I can't really see it, but I have I don't know what to call it, a journal, but I have things every day that I try to work on, things I'm working on, things I'm grateful for in my notebook, and that sits around me at all times. Maybe you start one of those too. But that's another thought for another day. I want 3 things that you can do to help calm your nerves. I want 61 minute stance motions tomorrow. And guys, we're running out of time. So I'm just going to tell you, thanks for getting on here. You guys were awesome. Your answers were awesome. Keep getting better. All right. So keep getting better at this stuff. And thanks for being here. We will get back on sometime this weekend, maybe to hang out. Okay. I'll put it out there if it's just a hangout. Everybody give Coach Sean a big thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We will see you guys this weekend. Make sure you get that stuff done. Okay?
Thanks. Let's go, weed.
Hey, make sure you get that stuff done. We'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye, guys.
Bye.